Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me for another episode. Gonna title this one A Hobby Shop Blaster because I stopped at a local card shop the other day on my way home. Had to head into downtown Boston for work, take care of a couple things, and on my way back I happened to pass by a small little kind of hole in the wall hobby shop up in Mass that I stop at every once in a while. Wanted to stop in to see if they had any of the infamous $1 brown bags of baseball cards or hockey cards, but those sadly seem to be a thing of the past. Not sure that those are going to be returning. But since I was there, wanted to at least raid kind of the discount boxes that he had out. Haven't had an opportunity to do anything like that in quite some time with COVID and everything. Really haven't been any card shows or anything, so did okay. But I spent in the end just $22 on the stack of cards that you see in front of you. So just about exactly what a retail blaster would cost, with sales tax included. So figured we will call this episode a Hobby Shop Blaster, and we'll see what I got with my $20. Obviously, a decent sized stack of cards here, so there's nothing expensive. Basically, the sleeved cards were like $3 for $1, and the card saver cards were $1 each. And then I may have gotten $1 or $2 off just because I picked up a few. So we'll start with the 3 for $1 pickups. Grabbed 3 copies of the Alex Mogilny rookie from 1990 Topps. And, reason being, this guy's a Hall of Famer. He was a total beast in the early 90s. He had a couple of, frankly, unbelievable seasons as far as point accumulation, and I believe he made the Hall of Fame. I think I have this card already. I think I actually have a sealed 1990 Topps set, which I got for like $5 back in the day, but I don't really want to break that open just because there's not a whole lot of point to it. So I figured it'd be cool to have a Mogilny rookie just kind of loose in the box that I could take a peek at whenever I wanted. And I figured, 3 for $1, they had 3 copies. I'll just grab all 3 and probably send 1 or 2 of these off to my hockey collecting buddies that I chat with. So if anyone's interested in a copy of that Mogilny, just let me know below. Next up, I pulled some greats of the game. And Gretzky is arguably the greatest. Love this O-Pee-Chee card. This says Premier Hockey along the top, but I think this was just the standard Topps and O-Pee-Chee set, like in 1993 or 94. 94, I want to say. So this is just a base card, but these have very tough black backs, and this one's actually in remarkable condition. So, for 33 cents, was a pretty solid addition there to my ever-growing Gretzky collection. Here's a guy that I'm big on as well, Jaromir Jagr. Obviously, Ovechkin's just about to pass him for 3rd place all-time in career goals. And I guess that was a little repetitive, all-time in career. But this is a Topps Finest Jagr that still has the protective film on top. So, again, 3 for $1 pricing. Couldn't pass some of these up. This is one I wasn't sure if my buddy Sean over at Sean's Stuff would need this. He's a Tkachuk fan, both Keith and the younger Tkachuks, Brady and Matthew. So this is an Ultra Power insert. So if you need that one, Sean, just hit me up in the comments or drop me a text, and I will put that in my next stack heading your way. And if not, no sweat, because I kind of half collect 90s hockey inserts anyway. So was going to bring that one home either way, but happy to send it to you, Sean, if you need it. Here's a nice base Jagr card. I always love this one from his brief stint with the Devils. This is like a pre-game on ice like intro, and you can actually see like the video screen behind Jagr as he's coming onto the ice with his giant face in the background. So I love this. Was surprised to see this in a 3 for $1 bin. I don't know if it's just me, but like on ComC, his base cards from Upper Deck from later in his career like this are like $1 or $2, it seems like, or if not more. So happily scoop that one up. Here's another Jagr. This is just another base card from Panini Rookie Anthology. Not a particularly stunning card or anything, but was just kind of bolstering my Jagr collection with some lower end stuff here since the prices were so good. Oof, getting some nasty reflection there from the window. Here's a Jeremy Roenick Border Battle. Just not a familiar insert to me. It's from Score in 1995, but it has some nice kind of foil elements, and of course Roenick is a member of the Hall of Very Good. It's an insert card, number 10 of 15. Just a sucker for 90s inserts. Here's a parallel from the 90s. This is the same Premier or O-Pee-Chee set that I showed you the Gretzky from. But these parallels, and the name is escaping me at the moment, but you can see the effect, like this kind of laser foil in the background. These were surprisingly tough. And when I saw Hall of Famer, Larry Murphy for the Penguins, he played for a bunch of different teams, North Stars, Red Wings, just had to bring that one home. Pretty good price for a semi-rare parallel of a Hall of Famer. Here's another nice 90s insert, Ultra Rising Stars. Scott Niedermeyer, who's a Hall of Fame defenseman. It's an early career card of his. Ultra made the best inserts back in the day, I feel like, at least in the realm of hockey, and they had some nice baseball ones too, but love the foil work there. Great card. Happy to pick that one up. Here's one from a set that I enjoyed, Emotion, and this is the Excited insert of Brett Hull. I think these were like one per box or something. It's not a very valuable card, but cool Brett Hull. Here's another of these parallels, and I think these are called effects or special effects, maybe I want to say, but here's Peter Stastny to go along with that Larry Murphy that we looked at. And again, 3 for $1, and he's in the Hall of Fame as well. Definitely remember him more with the Quebec Nordique, but he is with the Blues there. Was pumped to find this one. Check out this Hartford Whalers card of Brendan Shanahan from Pinnacle Summit. Some sweet rainbow foil action. I can't remember if I had this already or not, so I'm going to have to check that out after the video for my Whalers PC, but if I did, I'll have no issues finding a buddy to send this one to, just due to the shininess, and of course, he's in the Hall of Fame as well. Obviously, the theme here for these cheap 3 for $1 cards are hockey stars, and mostly Hall of Famers, and some guys that are close but not quite there. Here's another guy I loved in the 90s, Peter Forsberg, on that same Excited design that we saw for the Brett Hull. This is a base upper deck card, but I just love the photograph here of Joe Sakic hoisting Lord Stanley's Cup. Upper deck this year, and I know they did this for baseball and other sports, they had a caption on each card that talked about exactly when the photo was taken and sort of gave you some context. So total sucker for any card that features Lord Stanley's Cup. I've mentioned that a few times in the past, so couldn't resist that Sakic. Here's another insert I had never seen before, Skybox Impact Deflectors of the Beezer. Pretty cool. Got this Acetate Upper Deck Ice Johnny Gaudreau. So I've sort of become a little bit more into him, just as Sean from Sean Stuff has gotten me to pay a little bit more attention to the Flames. And I have a few other Gaudreau cards that I'll be showing off that I got on Sport Lots. Here's another Tkachuk, Full Contact out of Pinnacle. Taking down Chris Chelios, one of my favorite defenders. And again, goes without saying, but Sean, if you need this one for your Tkachuk PC, just let me know. Here's a nice Super Mario out of 91-92 O-Pee-Chee. Not an early career card or anything. He'd been in the league, 5 or 6 years at this point, but I just like the interesting photo. I think he's maybe sniffing some smelling salts there is my guess. Definitely remember pulling this one as a kid, and honestly don't know if I had a copy, so in my adult collection here, so for that price, threw that one in the stack. Here's a base Martin Brodeur from the same set that we saw the Yager from earlier in the video. This is the very tail end of his career, the 2013 Upper Deck hockey set. One of the best goaltenders of his time and of all time. A couple more base Yagers here. This one's from SP Authentic from his time in Florida. And then here's another New Jersey Devils base card. I think this is a 2014. Yep, 2014. Man, look at those stats. Unreal. Nice upper deck card there. I love the photograph on this one. And then the last two from the 3 for $1 box are shiny. So we got this Dominic Hasek, one of my favorite goaltenders from the 90s, one of the best that I've ever seen play. Completely dominating, pun intended, at his peak. And then the last one from the shiny box, another Joe Sakic. Check out the foil action on this from Leaf Limited. Pretty cool. I think this, I don't know if this is a base card or a parallel, but if that's a base card, then I need to get some packs of this stuff because that is simply fantastic. So that wraps up the 3 for $1 cards. I think I spent $7 or $8 on those. And then the rest of the purchase was a handful of dollar pickups. So first one we have is this Robin Yount from Stadium Club. I did not recognize this, and I thought it was neat because there are very few Stadium Club cards from the early to mid-90s that I don't recognize. And the back of this, you can see this is a 3000 Hit Club card, number 1 of 4. Pretty neat. I don't know how this had just totally escaped me in my first go around at collecting as a kid, but for $1 was happy to bring home a copy of that. Here's a basketball card I got just because it's Boston Celtics and it's really shiny and thus will look nice in my small basketball card Z folio. Not much of a basketball guy, so really picked this up based on the shine alone. Here's a Will Clark. This was one of my guys growing up. So this is a nice parallel out of Score. I think it's Gold Rush is the name of the parallel. It's not really coming up on video as nice as it is in hand, but it has kind of a foil effect to it. Definitely not rainbow or anything sparkly, but pretty neat. It's in nice condition, and it was a Clark that I definitely recognized I didn't have. So for $1, toss that one in the stack. Similarly, was a huge Cal Ripken guy growing up. So here's a Leaf Statistical Standouts insert from '94, featuring Cal. Got some shiny 21st century pitchers that are favorites of mine. And along those lines, here's a Prism refractor of Justin Verlander from 2020 Topps Chrome with the Astros. And then picked up a couple Prism cards. I'm not huge on unlicensed stuff, but channels like Pepino Man and Wesker Griff and those back pages are kind of changing my opinion on that a little bit. I dig some of these cards. So picked up this purple Pedro, and this and the next couple of cards are going to be fuel or food for Grimace, my purple Z folio that's full of purple cards. So figured Pedro would be a nice addition to that. Also, from the very same release, got the purple Max Scherzer, who's a guy that I've sort of gravitated to in my collecting and looks really nice here. There's not a lot of etching on these. There's a little bit you can see like on his derriere there, and like the pipeline in his pants is etched a little bit. So a little bit of the Panini etching that we expect, but still just a beautiful card. And I'm a sucker for colored parallels. Love Max Scherzer. Was happy to put that one in my stack. And then from, I think, an earlier Prism release, here's a purple Justin Verlander. This one has much more etching going on. That does it for the purple pitchers. Here's a Gretzky insert that I got from the early 90s. This is like an alternate take on what his rookie card could have looked like, I guess, out of O-Pee-Chee. There were some other of these reprints in the stack, and on the back it shows the true card, and on the front an alternate take. Kind of kicking myself that I didn't grab some of the others for $1. I know they had like Mark Messier, I think Patrick Waugh, maybe even Mario Lemieux. So next time I find myself in there, if those are still there, probably add a couple more to my stack, but didn't want to spend too much today. I've picked up a couple cards on eBay recently that were sort of whoppers, so wanted to make this a budget stop. I got 2 copies of this next one in case my buddy Pepino Man wants one. These are like just minors cards or just rookies of Clayton Kershaw. So these are like pre-rookie cards. They're non-licensed. You know, it's not the most visually appealing card ever, but I know Pepino likes Kershaw, and I'm a fan as well. These are marked $2, but they were in the $1 bin. So there's actually about 5 or 6 copies of this. So I grabbed 2 and figured I'll keep one and send one to Pepino. If he wants one, just let me know. Here's, I think, my lone football card of the day. Couldn't resist this J.J. Watt. Just, you know, an absolutely dominant defender. And I've talked about this with other sports, but I'm a sucker for Select and their colored parallels. So this is like a die cut, colored parallel, amazing etching. Love the photograph. Was really happy. Not being a football card guy, I felt like there was some value there, and that was a cool addition to the Football Z. And 2 more cards to go here. So final baseball card is this like reverse negative, I think it is, Refractor of Manny Machado. I know he's not, you know, the most adored athlete out there, but I want to say these are at least somewhat rare. And in my opinion, he has a shot to become a Hall of Famer down the line. So kind of thought this was a neat card for $1. I'll sit on it for a little, maybe at some point in the future be trade bait with a Machado or an Orioles fan, but couldn't go wrong for a buck. And then the final card is a basketball card, and it's a great, I would say by far the best mustache in today's video. I had never seen this card before. I don't think it's worth anything, but I picked it up just based on the photograph alone. And it is Larry Legend here. This is a really cool card from Upper Deck. He's rocking that feathery 80s haircut with the bangs, strong 80s mustache game. He's holding up a finger pointing out that he's number 1. And love like the warm-up outfit here that he's got on. And then in the back, we've got the Garden and all the championship banners for the Celtics hanging from the rafters back there. So I just thought that was too cool of a photo to leave behind in the dollar box. Thought that will look nice in my basketball Z, and took home that Larry Bird. So that is a wrap. That concludes my hobby shop blaster that I put together on the ride home from work. So $22 well spent. Certainly don't regret that. I think I got a lot of value and bang for the buck. Hopefully you saw something here that you thought was of interest. And either way, appreciate you stopping by. And if you made it through all 16 minutes of this, that means a lot to me. And I will certainly be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. Until then, take care, everybody.